Welcome to AI Blueprint by Anu, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're plunging into a really significant document. It's called America's AI Action Plan, and it was just published July 2025 by the White House.
And it's not just, a typical policy paper, is it? It
Yeah.
feels much bigger.
Exactly. It's framed as this profound strategic declaration. It talks about a new frontier of scientific discovery, all defined by artificial intelligence. The plan actually opens with quite a powerful statement from Donald J. Trump. It highlights that breakthroughs in these fields have the potential to reshape the global balance of power, spark entirely new industries, and revolutionize the way we live and work.
That sets a pretty high bar from the outset.
It does. And it goes further, asserting that, and this is a direct quote, it is a national security imperative for the United States to achieve and maintain unquestioned and unchallenged global technological dominance.
Wow, okay. So unquestioned and unchallenged.
Hmm.
No ambiguity there.
None at all. So our mission in this deep dive is really to unpack this whole plan for you. We want to distill the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights.
Basically help you get a quick handle on the U.S. government's strategy for AI dominance?
Right. And understand not just what it says, but maybe more importantly, why it matters for everyone, really. You know, from your career to the bigger geopolitical picture.
Makes sense. Where do we start?
Okay, so let's unpack it right from the beginning. The introduction, it paints this vivid picture of the stakes involved. It calls the pursuit of AI dominance a race.
Like the space race. Yeah, that kind of framing.
Exactly like the space race. And it sets out this incredibly ambitious vision for AI to usher in a new golden age of human flourishing.
That phrase, human flourishing, is interesting. What's really fascinating, I think, is how the plan frames AI. It's not just tech.
No, it's positioned as a catalyst, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A catalyst for 3 simultaneous revolutions, which is quite something.
3 at once. Okay, break those down.
So first, they talk about an industrial revolution. Think breakthroughs in new materials, chemicals, drugs, energy. Fundamental stuff.
Okay. Industrial. What else?
Second, an information revolution. Radically new forms of education, media, communication, how we learn, how we connect.
Right. And the third?
This one's maybe the most evocative. They call it a renaissance.
A renaissance. What does that mean in this context?
Well, the potential to, say, unravel ancient scrolls using AI, speed up scientific discoveries massively, inspire totally new forms of art, both digital and physical.
Okay, industrial, information, and renaissance. That's huge.
Okay.
It really raises a crucial question, though. What principles are supposed to guide all this transformation?
Good question. Are there guardrails?
There are. The plan lays out 3 overarching principles for the whole strategy. First, it emphasizes what it calls a worker-first AI agenda.
Worker first. What does that look like in practice?
The stated goal is to make sure AI complements American work, not just replaces it wholesale, and importantly, to explicitly create high-paying jobs in the process.
So, augmenting people, not replacing them. That's the idea.
That's the stated idea, yes. Augmenting human potential.
Okay, principle 1, worker first. What's number 2?
Second, the plan makes a very clear declaration. It says AI systems must be free from ideological bias.
The bias issue. That's always a big one.
Right. And it adds they should be designed to pursue objective truth, especially when users are looking for facts or analysis.
Objective truth. That's a loaded term in itself, isn't it? But it clearly signals a governmental stance on how AI should handle information. It's about trust.
Absolutely. Trustworthiness and societal impact. Okay, and the third principle.
Constant vigilance. That's the theme.
Vigilance against what specifically?
Preventing advanced AI from being misused or stolen by malicious actors, and also continuously monitoring for emerging and unforeseen risks.
So a proactive stance on the dangers, because this tech is powerful. Let's go.
Extremely. Okay, so those are the guiding principles. How is the plan actually structured to achieve all this?
It's built around 3 core pillars. Pillar 1 is all about accelerating AI innovation.
Right. Laying the groundwork for breakthroughs.
Exactly. Creating the right environment for, well, an explosion of innovation.
And how do they propose to do that? What's the approach?
A big part of it is enabling the private sector to lead. That's very explicit.
Makes sense. So less government intervention.
Well, a key action point is literally remove red tape and onerous regulation.
Okay, that's pretty direct.
It is. The plan specifically calls for rescinding the previous Biden administration's Executive Order 14110.
Why that specific order?
The plan views it as potentially stifling bureaucracy, especially at what it calls an early stage of AI development.
So a different philosophy there. Seeing regulation more as a break than a safeguard, at least for now?
Seems that way. It even suggests that federal funding might be limited for states if they implement what the plan deems burdensome AI regulations.
Whoa, okay. Using funding as leverage.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is. And here's where it gets particularly interesting and reflects a very clear ideological position.
Well on.
The plan highlights a commitment to ensure that frontier AI protects free speech and American values.
Okay, American values. How do they define or implement that?
Well, it gets specific. It calls for revising the NIST AI risk management framework.
NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology. Their safety guidelines.
That's the one. Revising it to eliminate references to misinformation, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and climate change.
Eliminate those references entirely.
That's what it says. And it states very directly that the government will only contract with large language model developers who ensure their systems are, quote, objective and free from top-down ideological bias.
That definitely raises big questions about the government's role in shaping AI's core values and the information landscape it creates. A very deliberate move.
It seems so. But beyond that specific point, what else is in this innovation pillar?
Well, it also encourages open source and open weight AI.
Why open source?
It recognizes the value for startups, for academia, flexibility, handling sensitive data better sometimes. It wants to speed up a healthy financial market for compute.
Access to computing power, yeah, that's critical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And foster the next wave of breakthroughs by publishing a new national AI R&D strategic plan.
Okay, so fostering R&D. But, having great AI isn't much use if nobody uses it, right? What about adoption?
That's a really valid point, and the plan acknowledges it. It identifies limited and slow adoption as a bottleneck.
Especially in certain sectors, I imagine.
Exactly. Critical sectors like healthcare, which can be slower to integrate new tech.
So how do they plan to speed that up?
They propose things like regulatory sandboxes or AI centers of excellence.
Sandboxes, like safe spaces to experiment.
Pretty much. Controlled environments where companies can deploy and test AI quickly with fewer regulatory hurdles. Supported by agencies like the FDA or SEC, the goal is a try-first culture.
Try first, okay.
And from a national security angle, it also directs the DoD and the intelligence community to constantly assess how competitors and adversaries are doing with their own AI adoption.
Keeping tabs on the competition makes sense in a race. This leads right into the workforce impact, doesn't it?
It does. The plan wants to empower American workers in the age of AI.
And it mentions those two executive orders from April 2025.
Right. Advancing artificial intelligence education for American youth and preparing Americans for high-paying, skilled trade jobs of the future.
So education and skills are key.
Definitely. Prioritizing AI skill development in education and workforce funding.
Yeah.
Integrating it into career and technical education, apprenticeships.
Practical training.
Yeah. And it clarifies that AI literacy programs might qualify for tax-free employer reimbursement under the Internal Revenue Code, Section 132.
Trying to boost private sector investment and upskilling?
Exactly. And to understand the impact better, it proposes an AI workforce research hub under the Department of Labor, studying the labor market shifts, figuring out rapid retraining for displaced workers.
Okay, so it's not just about the digital realm. Innovation extends physically too, right? Manufacturing.
Yes. Support next-generation manufacturing. This is about autonomous drones, self-driving cars, advanced robotics, that kind of thing.
And the goal is for the U.S. and allies to be world-class manufacturers of this tech.
Precisely. Prioritizing investment, leveraging federal programs, tackling supply chain issues for robotics, drones.
And this seems to connect directly to science itself. Invest in AI-enabled science.
It really does. Recognizing AI's power to just transform scientific discovery, generating models for proteins, finding new materials, even coming up with hypotheses.
Which requires massive amounts of data, I assume.
Huge amounts, which is why the plan aims to build world-class scientific data sets. It calls high-quality data a national strategic asset.
A strategic asset. Wow. So leading the world in creating AI-ready scientific data.
That's the goal. While respecting privacy, of course. It includes recommendations for data quality standards.
Any specific examples of these data sets?
Well, it talks about implementing OMB regulations to improve access to federal data. And here's a really ambitious one. Exploring a whole genome sequencing program for life on federal lands.
Sequencing everything on federal lands to train biological AI.
Seems like it. An unprecedented scale of biological data collection.
Okay, one more thing on innovation. Invest in AI interpretability, control, and robustness breakthroughs. What's that about?
Basically, making sure we understand how these complex AIs work, the black box problem, especially when safety is critical.
So transparency and control, how?
It proposes a DARPA-led tech development program, an AI hackathon initiative to stress test AI systems for transparency, control, security flaws.
Like ethical hacking for AI.
Kind of, and creating an AI evaluations ecosystem to independently assess performance and reliability, with guidelines for federal agencies.
And finally, applying all this to government itself.
Yep. Accelerate AI adoption in government. Make federal services more efficient, formalizing a Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer Council across agencies.
Driving adoption in defense, too.
Big time. Transforming warfighting, back office stuff. Setting up an AI and autonomous systems virtual proving ground. Building up senior military colleges as AI hubs.
Lots of focus on security, too, right? Protecting innovation.
Absolutely. Protect commercial and government AI innovations from cyber threats, insider threats, and also combat synthetic media in the legal system.
Deep fakes in court. That's a growing problem.
Huge challenge. Giving courts, law enforcement, the tools. It mentions the existing Take It Down Act and developing NIST's Guardians of Forensic Evidence program into a formal guideline for spotting manipulated media.
KK, that's a lot under Pillar 1, innovation. Let's move to Pillar 2, building American AI infrastructure.
Right, the foundations. The physical stuff needed to make all this AI actually work.
What's the biggest challenge they highlight here? Seems fundamental.
Energy. The plan states, quite starkly, that AI is the first digital service in modern life that challenges America to build vastly greater energy generation than we have today.
Wow. More energy than we currently have.
Yeah, it notes U.S. energy capacity has basically stagnated since the 70s, while China's grid has grown rapidly.
So the solution?
A central focus is create streamlined permitting for data centers, semiconductor manufacturing facilities, and energy infrastructure.
Streamlined permitting. I hear echoes of remove red tape.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The plan explicitly rejects what it calls radical climate dogma and bureaucratic red tape. The mantra is literally, build, baby, build.
Cool, baby, build. That's memorable. What specific actions for streamlining?
Establishing new categorical exclusions under NEPA, the Environmental Act, to let some data center projects bypass long reviews.
Speed things up significantly.
That's the idea. Expanding use of the FAST-41 process for faster permits, exploring a nationwide Clean Water Act permit for data centers. Streamlining regs under Clean Air, Clean Water, CERCLA.
SOCLE. That's the Superfund Act for hazardous sites.
Right. And making federal lands available for data centers and power plants. Crucially, it says this infrastructure must not be built with any adversarial technology.
No tech from rivals. Got it. So beyond permitting, the grid itself needs a massive boost.
Absolutely massive. Develop a grid to match the pace of AI innovation. That's the goal. Stabilize the existing grid first, optimize what we have with advanced tech, and prioritize connecting reliable, dispatchable power sources.
Like what? What kind of power?
Things like enhanced geothermal, nuclear fission, and looking ahead, even nuclear fusion. Reliable, always-on power.
Okay, energy is huge. What about the chips, the semiconductors?
Pillar 2 makes it crystal clear. Restore American semiconductor manufacturing.
Bringing chip making back home. Why the big push?
Jobs, obviously,
Yeah.
but also reinforcing tech leadership and critically protecting supply chains from geopolitical shocks.
How will they achieve that? Using the CHIPS Act funding.
Yes, focusing the CHIPS program office on getting a strong return on investment for the American taxpayer, and even using AI in semiconductor manufacturing to boost efficiency.
Using AI to build the AI chips. Interesting. What about secure data centers for military and intelligence?
That's in there too. Build high-security data centers for military and intelligence community usage. Security needs, they're obviously way beyond commercial levels.
So new standards needed.
Precisely. Creating new technical standards, working with DoD, the IC, NIST.
And building all this needs workers, right?
For sure. The plan aims to train a skilled workforce for AI infrastructure.
What kind of jobs?
High-priority ones identified are electricians, HVAC technicians. People needed to build and maintain these huge, power-hungry facilities, creating industry training programs, expanding registered apprenticeships.
Makes sense. And securing all this new critical infrastructure.
Vital. Bolster critical infrastructure cybersecurity.
How does AI factor into cybersecurity here?
It's a double-edged sword, right? AI for offense, AI for defense. The plan proposes an AI Information Sharing and Analysis Center, an AI ISAC.
And ISAC just for AI threats.
Seems so. To share threat intel across critical infrastructure sectors, it also promotes secure by design AI technologies, recognizing AI systems can be vulnerable to adversarial attacks. Resilient development is key.
And suggests refining the DoD's responsible AI frameworks.
Right, incorporating these security lessons.
And if defenses fail, if there's an incident,
Then you need mature response capacity. Promote mature federal capacity for AI incident response.
meaning what exactly?
Integrating AI risks into existing incident response plans. Making sure agencies like CISA update their playbooks for AI-specific problems. Ensuring a swift, effective response.
Okay, that covers infrastructure. Let's hit the final pillar, pillar 3, lead in international AI diplomacy and security.
Right, so this is about America's role on the global stage regarding AI.
How does the plan see that role?
As a leader, naturally, it argues the U.S. must export American AI to allies and partners.
Export AI, what does that entail?
The whole package. The full tech stack, hardware, chips, models, software, applications, even the standards.
Why the push to export?
Meet global demand, basically, and prevent allies from having to turn to rivals, like China, for their AI needs. Foster shared values through technology.
How would that work practically?
Proposing a program in the Department of Commerce to get proposals from industry groups for these full-stack AI export packages.
Interesting. It also mentions countering Chinese influence, specifically in international bodies.
Yeah, counter Chinese influence in international governance
Okay,
bodies.
what's the concern there?
The plan notes lots of international groups are working on AI governance, but sees too many pushing for burdensome regulations or being influenced by Chinese firms trying to shape standards, especially for things like facial recognition and surveillance tech.
So the U.S. aims to push back.
Vigorously advocate for approaches that promote innovation, reflect American values, openness, liberty, and actively counter that authoritarian influence on global norms.
This seems linked to export controls, right? Especially on computing power.
Directly. Strengthen AI compute export control enforcement.
Why is controlling compute access so critical?
It's framed as pure geostrategic competition and national security, denying adversaries the advanced processing power needed for cutting-edge AI.
How can they enforce that globally? Chips can move around.
They're exploring things like location verification features on advanced AI compute to track where chips end up, ensuring they're not diverted to countries of concern, working closely with the intelligence community on global enforcement.
And closing loopholes, too.
Yes, plug loopholes in existing semiconductor manufacturing export controls, recognizing that while big systems might be controlled, crucial subcomponents often aren't.
So new controls on those smaller parts.
That's the proposal, and getting allies on board. Align protection measures globally, encouraging partners to adopt similar controls.
And if they don't?
Using tools like the Foreign Direct Product Rule, basically blocking foreign firms from selling stuff made with U.S. tech to restricted parties. It's a powerful tool.
The plan also puts the U.S. government itself in a key evaluation role.
Right. Ensure that the U.S. government is at the forefront of evaluating national security risks in frontier models.
Why the government specifically?
Because cutting-edge U.S. models are seen as a preview of what adversaries might get soon.
Right.
So the government needs to evaluate them for risks.
Like what kind of risks?
Advanced cyber attacks, AI, helping develop CBRNE weapons, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear explosives, and also probing adversary AI systems for their vulnerabilities or hidden backdoors.
Wow. Okay, one last point is this pillar. Invest in biosecurity.
A really crucial one, acknowledging AI's potential misuse in designing new diseases or harmful pathogens.
Scary thought. What's the approach?
Multi-tiered,
Yeah.
requiring institutions getting federal research funds to use DNA synthesis tools and providers that have strong screening procedures.
Screening for what?
Screening nucleic acid sequences, and verifying customers. Basically, trying to stop malicious actors from ordering dangerous biological materials. It also calls for data sharing between these providers to spot bad actors.
Okay, so that wraps up the 3 pillars. Let's try to synthesize this.
We've just gone through America's AI Action Plan from July 2025. 3 pillars: innovation, infrastructure, international leadership, and security.
And the overarching goal seems crystal clear, doesn't it? Establish and maintain unquestioned U.S. dominance in AI.
Absolutely. So what does this deep dive mean for you listening right now? This plan isn't just abstract policy. It lays out a vision for how AI gets deeply woven into Well, everything.
Yeah, your job prospects, the energy grid, the physical infrastructure around you, even the global balance of power. It's trying to shape the next era.
It really is a blueprint.
The plan talks about sparking an industrial revolution, an information revolution, and a renaissance all at once, which, leads to a pretty big final thought. In a world where AI holds that much transformative power, reshaping potentially everything, how might our very definition of human flourishing change? And what new responsibilities might fall on us as citizens and on governments that maybe aren't even covered in this plan?
Hmm. That's a profound question.
Ah,
What does flourishing look like in the age of advanced AI, and what's our role beyond what any government plan dictates?
exactly. Definitely something to mull over as we navigate this future.